easy. We went ahead and Teflon taped all of our fittings here to speed up our video for you. But on my last fitting, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to Teflon tape properly. So the steps are to install your tank tee. Okay, you have a tank tee, you have a boiler drain to drain your tank. You have a relief valve which will protect your tank. Our tanks are rated for, well, the new ones, some of them are rated for 100 psi. We have a 75 psi tank relief. We're going to show you how to Teflon that up in a minute. We have a house shutoff that comes with the tank tee package that we buy. That comes with everything we need. So we have that. We have a check valve. This check valve allows water one way, but not the other way. If we didn't have this, the water would evacuate if there was a leak from this point back to the well. It could be a bad check valve at the pump, leak in the ground, leak at the pitless adapter inside your well casing, etc., etc. Okay, so then we have our pressure switch, which operates the pressure in your house. And one of our last steps, we're going to show you how to adjust this pressure with the bladder, the air in the bladder of the tank. So let's go. We're going to put this together here. Little pipe dope, pipe sealant, thread sealant, all kinds out there. Just make sure it's food safe. I use the clear stuff because I don't like pipe dope all over my fittings. It doesn't look good to me. You can use whatever's available. Home Depot sells it. Plumbing wholesalers sell it. I'm gonna just pipe seal this threads here. Well, the old timers are looking at this right now, so you don't need all that, but I like it. I've been doing that way. So we're gonna just go ahead and place this in our tank, into the elbow that's in the bottom of our tank. You'll notice I keep my tank inside of the cardboard to protect the paint, and in this case the customer's floor too. So I'll go ahead and tighten this up. Here I use a 12-inch pipe wrench. You can use an 18. Use a pipe wrench. Okay. And simply tighten it up. I'm gonna have my apprentice go over there and hold the tank for moving. So we're all tightened up, and we're make sure we're nice and straight here, and we are. Next step is just to keep putting our fittings on. We got to make sure we put the check valve. Our check valves have an arrow on them. We want the arrow facing the flow of the water, which is into the tank. So we're going to put that. In our scenario, we're going to put it on the left hand side of the tank. Let me get this adapter here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Teflon now. So Teflon instruction here. It's taken me years, over 30 years to do Teflon tape. So I like to hold my finger in here like this. And I use this finger, my middle finger, and my thumb. Use my other two fingers, pull a little bit out, and I use my finger as such to control the flow of my tape. When we're taping, I can hold my tape like this. I use this hand to do this kind of number here. And we're going to Teflon with we want to go clockwise with our tape. So I always hold, I'm a right-handed, so I take my threads and I point them to the right. And I simply put my tape, see if I can get here for you, on there. I use my thumb. Simply go around 2 to 3, 4 times, depending on my attitude. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and hold that. This is our tank relief. On our tank, it doesn't really matter which side we have it on. They do the same thing on each side. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead, tape and thread seal it. The tape and the threads here. And you can go simply put it on the left side. I'm going to put my tank drain here. So go ahead and do that. Okay. So this placement of the relief valve should be pointing down. That all based on if it's resting on the floor or not, and this is too close to the floor. Same with our tank drain. If it's too close to the floor, we want to just put it on an angle so we can get a hose on it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Teflon tape where our check valve goes. Okay, like that. Notice I'm playing a different game here, but that's that. I'm almost out of pipe. Thread sealant. No, we're fine. I got plenty for the project. Okay, again, we have a check valve here with the arrow on it. Make sure you put that facing the flow of water into the tank. In this scenario, I'm just going to use my pump pliers or channel locks. Old schoolers call them pump pliers. Okay, I like to make sure the arrow is seen the right way. Next, most tank T packages come with a nylon insert adapter. These are fine, they work good. My personal taste is brass or stainless steel, and the only way I would change my mind is if the water chemistry had a very low pH in it. Using brass with pH, you end up with corrosion prematurely. So, but in this scenario, we don't have that problem. So we're going to use the brass here. Same thing. They make these also in stainless steel. So if I really had problem with water chemistry with very low pH in it, I'd be using stainless steel here. But we don't have that problem. We do have a hard water problem, and that's not going to hurt this stuff. So we're going to put that in there right here where we're going to connect to the well. Okay, and we just keep continuing to go. We got our tank drain. This is going to help us drain the tank, flush out any sediment when we do a well service to this tank yearly. Bet you didn't know you had to service these things, huh? Most people don't service them, which equates to premature failure of their tank. Okay, we're going to put our tank drain right here. Using our pump pliers or channel locks, whatever you want to call them. And you can also use adjustable wrenches here if you'd like. The adjustable wrench will work just fine. Okay, in this scenario, we're going to just leave it on an angle here. Okay, so we got to put in our house shutoff next. So we're going to put our house shutoff in here. Again, pump pliers, adjustable wrench, all do the same thing here. You gotta be careful right here. Don't over tighten these ball valves at all on the brass. Sometimes, because these tank tees are made in China, the brass is pretty thin here. If you over tighten it, you can split the threads here. I've done that on rare occasions, of course. Just don't over tighten this piece here. Just make sure your valve is straight when you're done tightening it. I'm going to go around one more time. It seems a little loose. Okay. All right, so house valve's done. So the next step is we're going to put our gauge on. These come in regular standard gauges to 100 psi. I prefer the glycerin filled, the liquid filled gauges that have a stainless steel casing, but it wasn't available to me today, so I'm going to use the one that comes with the box. And we'll go ahead and Teflon tape this. Make sure you don't plug this little hole up here in the gauge. Again, Teflon and pipe thread sealant. Pipe thread sealant is not needed, actually, believe it or not, but if you ever have to go replace the components, whatever what you're doing, makes it a lot easier to get them off, kind of a lubricant. Teflon tape works just fine with by itself. I use it because it kind of adds extra insurance and for future service. So on this here, just again, you can use pliers here if you want. You don't have to go too tight on these. Okay, almost there. Now we are going to put in our pressure switch. Somewhere in my mess of parts here, I've got the pressure switch tube. A lot of times when you get a service call for a tank that has an issue with their relief valve leaking, or pressure issues, generally is caused by a clogged switch. The pressure switch gets clogged with rust a lot of times, or sediment, and so doesn't these. Sometimes in the old days we had these in galvanized steel, and they would clog up quite frequently, and you would get scenarios where the water would fluctuate up and down, and that's not the only cause of that. It could be a bad bladder, not enough air due to lack of service, or just plain old age. But next is the switch, so let's go with the switch. Feel free to leave me some comments and questions in the comment section below if you have any questions about your well tank. Be glad to help you out there. Okay, so here we go. Put that here. And we're almost there. Well tanks are very hard to do. The hardest part is when the bladder goes bad and the whole tank fills up with water, and you gotta muscle them out of the basement sometimes, or blow them out with an air compressor, all kinds of things. Whatever it takes to get them out of the basement. You better have some Wheaties in the morning, because they're full of water. Sometimes you can't get them out of there. All right, so the water out of it. Okay, so we're ready. We're ready basically to put this tank back in place. We'll go to step 5 here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and put my adapter in real quick, and we're going to copper. We cheat a little bit and use ProPress. We have to use this tool right here for this process, what we're all using today. Us old schoolers that got weaned into this trade using copper and solder and flux and stuff, that's the true art. But at my age, I prefer my health over anything else, and me breathing and flux and dust and this and that and blah 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 blah. This makes my life a little easier, makes my job go a little bit faster. and I prefer to live a little bit longer because of that. So I'm gonna have to put this adapter in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use an adjustable wrench here on here so I don't scratch the fitting. I'm gonna go ahead and hold my hand on here so the valve doesn't move. And just like that, we're ready to put our tank back in place.
You know I done lost my lover. I got to find me a girl brand new.